like Lenin said about Rosa when it came to the question of national self-determination.
Right,
Lenin was very insistent until she said self-determination is strictly bourgeois demand.
right. The
There's a
national question was the. She, in fact, Rosa critiqued Marx and
Poland.
Engels' first international
Yeah,
position on Poland.
yeah, yeah. So does that make her anti-Polish? I don't think
No,
so.
no, yeah,
I think she reached a different conclusion. Lenin was emphatic that she was wrong, but he didn't think of her as the enemy when he wrote his um, obituary for her. He said she was wrong on this, she was wrong on this, she was wrong on that. He didn't say she was an enemy of the working class. He thought she was wrong. And then the famous line, an eagle can fly as low as a chicken, but a chicken can never rise to the heights of an eagle. Rosa Luxemburg was an eagle, which she was. She's unbelievable.
also,
Human.
part of their different conclusions on the national question came because they were analyzing different situations. I mean, Rosa was taking Warsaw and St. Petersburg at a time when, in the 1890s, when the working class was very militant. So she argued that now the Polish independence would mean dividing the working class, and the Prussian junkers and bayonets would smash them. On the other hand, Lenin was dealing with huge swaths of land in Asia where there were different nationalities, and you cannot simply just set aside the question of right to self determination. So I think these are different conditions that led to different conclusions.
I wish I had the time in life, the time left to me, and the mental lucidity that I could sit down and read that literature again. Uh, I think it was rich. I think it was
Absolutely
rich. These are people who thought hard. They really believed in this thing called theory, that you have to
right.
understand what you're doing. You can't just go in blindly. Maybe they over theorized. It's possible. The Bolshevik Revolution is the only revolution, which is a revolution that was mapped out by theory. That every step of the way they had to have a theoretical explanation for it. There's no phenomenon like that in human history. And you could say maybe they overdid it. That the theory became a rationalization and blinded you to what was actually happening. But it was they respected, as I said, they were the peak of human civilization to that point, and they respected the life of the mind. As I understood Lenin's basic critique of Rosa was that Rosa was, we can use the language of later, that she was an economic determinist. That is, she felt if you could prove that Poland was incapable of real independence because its economy was totally intermeshed already with Russia, that if you could prove it was incapable of exercising any real independence, then you have eliminated the possibility of Polish self-determination because they're already fully integrated in the neighboring economies. And Lenin's response was that Rosa misses the specifically political aspect of politics. That even though economically she has a point, that was her thesis, or her doctoral thesis was on the economic development of Poland. Even if economically she was correct, politics has its own specific, unique aspect to it that's not reducible to the economics. And it was probably right. It was probably right. So you have all of these countries, so quote unquote, who became independent after the decomposition of the Soviet Union. But it's an independence in name only because they're fully integrated in this or that neighboring economy. So it's just in name only. Um, so Rosa had a point. They can't exercise real independence. But Lenin had a point that this specifically political aspect of
Right,
politics,
right.
not reducible to economics, exists.